Hi, my name is Erin. I am going to be teaching a senior seated cardio, strength, flexibility, and balance class today. First, what we're going to do is start with some breathing and warming up. So let's take a deep breath in, open up your chest. Exhale, we're going to move our arms out in front of us and feel a nice stretch in the upper back. So we have the chest here opening up as we inhale, and then exhale, moving the arms out in front of us. We're feeling a stretch in the rhomboid area, and also the rear deltoid is what I meant. Rear delt. So chest, pecs, and rear delt. Inhale, exhale, and then warming up the shoulders, back like this. So we're one arm at a time. It's actually better. So engaging your core on this. Leading with your elbows, not your shoulders. And then let's change directions. A couple more here. All right. And then with the legs, we can just go with some marching here. Warming up. Rolling the wrists. Changing directions. Okay, and then we're touching each finger to the thumb and back. Flicking your fingers out like this, and then grabbing this way. Okay, and then take another deep breath in, and let's get ready for a little bit of the seated cardio work, where we're gonna go with the V step. So stepping in and stepping back out, moving your arms to get your heart rate up more. You can move your arms back and forth a little higher when you keep your feet in place. Okay, lifting up, trying to sit up straight. Okay. Okay, and let's go with toe taps out front and back. Okay. Okay, keep going. You can add your arms or not. So completely up to you. Go at your own pace. Modify as you need to. Okay, and then we're going to get ready to switch to heels. Okay, so we'll move the heels out. All right, just switching legs. You can keep the arms going if you want, or you can, a good idea is to press down on your chair as you're doing these. So if you ever get too tired with your arms back and forth, you can always take it easy and just change like that. Okay, and then let's move on to another exercise where we go with the jumping jacks seated. Okay, that can really get your heart rate up some more, moving your arms and legs out. A lot easier on the joints and easier on the knees than regular jumping jacks where you're standing up and bouncing around. putting a lot of pressure on the joints there. But this one is a lot easier, and you can still feel that you can get your heart rate up on this. Okay, take a break. You can always just do a couple steps like that, and then we can try to add 10 more before moving on to our next move. But then if 10 more is too much for you, you can always just march in place like this while we're going ahead and doing the jumping jacks. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good job. So that's just a little demo, an example of what the cardio portion of my workout would be. So then we would move on to balance. Okay, so one foot in front of the other. We can do that standing behind the chair, or you can try it seated, and just to get that feeling of how that would be for balancing, trying to sit up straight. And then as you get stronger and you feel more confident, then maybe you could try standing up behind the chair and holding on to the chair. So we'll put the arms out to the side to help with that balance, and have that one foot in front of the other. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then we would switch legs. So put the other leg in front, and it feels a little different. So it's great to challenge yourself in those different ways. So relax your shoulders. Okay, take a deep breath in. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. Now for the next balance exercise, we're going to try standing on one foot. Okay, so again, engaging your core just to get that feeling. Lifting that one foot off the floor. Good. Okay, let's try it with the other leg. So we're lifting it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a break. Okay, now for the abdominals, we would do that seated as well. We can cross one leg over the other. You're pressing down on the chair for better stability, engaging your core, relaxing your shoulders, and lifting up. You can, and if it hurts your back, maybe lift. A good modification would be to lift one leg at a time. Okay. Okay, and then we would take a break. And then cross the other leg over to the other side. And lifting up this way. Alright, and we're still on abdominals, so you can always do these crunches this way. Okay, we can go from, so anywhere from 5 to 10, going at your own pace. And then let's take a break. We can move on to the crunch on one side only. So opposite arm and leg. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then we'll try the other side for the same number. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we could try the cycling forward and cycling. So we'll just do cycling forward today. Cycling back would be another day. But with that, if this hurts your back, try one at a time, like 1 foot down. Okay, that's the modification on this one, and then you can try the other one. And then if 10 repetitions is too much, you do 5 repetitions. Okay, and then after the seated abdominal portion, we would move on to strength for the legs. And then with the strength, or lower body, you can use the ankle weight. This is an adjustable ankle weight where you can take some of the weight out. Or if you have a knee replacement, you can try it with no weight at all, using your own body weight. So the first exercise that we would go with is the leg extension. Be this way. So checking your form once again, keeping your head up, relaxing the shoulders, engage your core. So exhale on exertion as you're extending your leg out. Inhale back. So breathing normally. Just remember not to hold your breath. So remember to breathe. Okay, that leg extension. And then with legs, we would do the hamstring curl this way as we're stepping forward and back on that leg. Okay, so 10 to 12 repetitions, and then let's go with the abduction. So out to the side and back, moving out and back in. Okay. 10 to 12 repetitions to start. And then we would go with the calf raise, okay? And on that, it would be feet flat down, and then back up on your toes. And the same amount of repetitions for this one, so anywhere from 10 to 12, okay? And then we would just go with the second set of everything we just did. The leg extension, which is out like this. And then we would go the hip abduction, out to the side, abductor, okay? And the back extension. And then the calf raise. Okay, so it would be 2 sets on that leg, and then you take the ankle weight off, and you switch to the other side. To do the same thing on the other side. So that is starting with the leg extension for 12 repetitions, the abductor, hip abductor, to the side. Okay, same thing, 10 to 12. and then we go with the back extension, 10 to 12. And calf raise, 10 to 12. Okay, for 2 sets. And then you're all done with legs. So then we would move on to upper body. So with the upper body, what you could do if people have arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and can't grip these weights, which are the 3-pound weights I have here, they could use some wrist weights. Okay, and like I was saying, you can take weight out of these ankle weights so they can be used as wrist weight. So with all the movements I'm about to do with these free weights, you could use with those wrist weights. Okay, so this first one, as we lift up, is the shoulder flexion exercise. So just like we did with the leg exercises, you're going to engage your core as you're doing the exercises. Watch your form. Okay, so we're lifting up this way for 10 to 12. Okay, and then you're going to rest. Keeping your elbows in, trying not to bend your wrist, going with the bicep curl. Okay, 10 to 12 of those. And then we're going to go with the row next for the rhomboid area, upper back. So pinching back like this. Breathing normally. Okay. And these are, we're doing lighter weight. We're working for muscular strength, not power lifting. So it's a different type of training. We don't have to rest for 2 to 3 minutes. It can be 30 seconds on this one. Okay, so elbows in, extending out. You're working the tricep in the back. So deep breath in, exhale. Okay, and you really want to watch your form on this one. Sometimes it can be really hard doing it seated. So people, when they are seated, they might say, okay, I have to do one at a time. One side, and you sit closer to the side of the chair. So we're extending out like this. All right, and then, so same thing as before. It's 2 sets of 12. So we could do one on one side for 12, and then switch to the other side, switching back and forth. So you would switch, until you completed the 2 sets of 12 for the tricep extension. And then at the end of the workout, you would also go for that nice stretching again. So you can do all of this seated. We can inhale as you lift up, and then exhale, moving your arms out in front of you. Get that nice stretch in the rear delt. Okay, couple more here. And then also moving your arms back, leading with the elbow, elbow, not the shoulder. Couple more. All right, and then changing directions. And remember, if someone has a pulled muscle, they might need to stretch a little bit longer on one side than somebody else. Okay, and then we can even do the hamstring stretch as we're seated, where we put our hands down to the side And take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're moving forward a little bit. We're hinging at the hips. Okay, it's a nice hamstring stretch here. So you would try that on both sides, nice and slow with this. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Okay, we can also do the quad stretch seated. So we're going to turn to the side this way, lifting up, exhale, inhale. And we would repeat everything that we're doing on this side on the other side for these stretches. Okay, and then also a nice hip stretch is crossing over like this. And remember, if that hurts, or if you had a hip replacement, we're gonna modify, and you can cross one ankle over the other instead, and just moving forward, keeping the chest up. And then also this, you want to stretch out the forearms. You can take a deep breath in, adding about 10% of your strength against the other hand as you lift up. Inhale, exhale, relax, relaxing your arm and pressing down a little bit. Forearm extension, and then forearm flexion. We'll flip the hand over, take a deep breath in, add that resistance, about 10% of your strength. Exhale and relax. Press your fingers back just a little bit. Okay, and then repeat that on the other side. And you can just shake your arms out a little bit. And then also there's the nice neck stretch here. You take a deep breath in, exhale, dropping your ear to the shoulder. You can take a deep breath in, exhale, add some gentle resistance if you want to, or you don't have to. Keep the shoulders square, dropping your head slightly forward and to the side. Put your hand behind your head to get the levator scapula stretch. So take a deep breath in, exhale, add that resistance. This is a great one. People forget about this a lot of the times, but that's a really good one. So take a deep breath in, moving your head back up, and then repeat that same stretch on the other side. And then putting both arms back like this, shoulders down and back, gentle chest stretch here. This one's actually easier to do standing up, but it can still be done seated. But sometimes just moving your arms back like this seated, that's probably better. So take that deep breath in, exhale. Great job today. Have a good day.